One of the most popular parks in Spokane, Washington is Manito Park, that is located on the South Hill. This park consists of 90 acres of beautiful botanical gardens of both plant and tree varieties, a conservatory, ponds, pavilions, and a playground. But did you know that in the early days of Manito Park there was a zoo? This is Kayla Gilmore, and you are watching Did You Know in History. Manito Park was first called Montrose Park because of its wild roses on basalt mounds. The park was an undeveloped area in the South Hill neighborhood that was laid aside by Francis Cook in the late 1800s. A florist by the name of Charles Balzer was given a house that was in the middle of the park to live in during his time as superintendent of the park. The park became a popular destination for picnics. It housed a dance pavilion, as well as a pond big enough for canoes. During this period, streetcars also brought locals to the park from downtown. As the park gained popularity, the name was changed to Manito Park in 1903. This name was chosen because Manito in local Native American dialects means spirit of nature or a supernatural force that pervades nature. Manito Park became an official Spokane City Park in 1904. Then, in 1905, Manito Park brought in another amenity to attract visitors: a zoo. At one time, the zoo had up to 165 animals, to include skunks, coyotes, bobcats, beavers, polar bears, buffalo, emu, and many other animals. To help improve Manito Park, the Olmsted brothers were hired to give recommendations of improvements for the layout of the park. In their 1913 report, they recommended the closing of Manito Park Zoo because there was limited space given to the animals, and it was high maintenance to keep up with the zoo. Regardless of the recommendation, the park board continued to try to gain support and ran the zoo for many more years. The zoo ran until 1932, when it was closed because Spokane was trying to limit expenses during the Great Depression. Even though the park board chose to disregard the Olmsted brothers' recommendations to close the zoo back in 1913, other park recommendations were implemented. John Duncan, who was an Olmsted brothers fan, became the superintendent of Manito Park in 1910. He implemented the Olmsted brothers' recommendations, such as widening and paving park roads, reducing grades, leveling a playing field, and planting grassy areas. The Duncan Park, which is a 3-acre European-style garden that was designed and built in 1913, is named after John Duncan. Around the same time period, Manito Park also improved its drives, greenhouse, flower gardens, playgrounds, tennis courts, a ball field, a bowling green, and gymnasium apparatus. Duncan brought lilacs to Manito Park at this time, and eventually created a lilac garden in 1942, after the Spokane Lilac Club donated 40 shrubs. In 1965, it was proposed that a Japanese garden be added to Manito Park to symbolize the friendship of Spokane with its sister city, Nishinomiya, in Japan. Nagoi Sakurai was put in charge in designing the garden, but soon after the construction began, was struck with a stroke. Shosuke Nogai and Hiroshiko Kawai, who were architects from Kobe, Japan, took over the project. The Japanese park was completed in 1974, just in time for the Expo 74. Manito Park has been a popular destination since its creation and continues to serve as a wonderful place for leisure and recreation.